Hey, joining us next on the MARR Army Rock Show, making their first appearance. And, it's funny, we were just talking off air that I didn't realize they're right up from the road from our broadcasting area of Lancaster, Pennsylvania here. They are Illusions of Grandeur. They're from the Lancaster, Philadelphia area. We've got Maggie and CM with us. They've got a new release, Songs of the Siren, due out on August 30th. CM and Maggie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, for those new to your band and listening to our show, give us a little bit of a biography of the band. You're about to release the debut record, but tell us a little bit about the history of the band.
Well, we're a fantasy metal rock band, a theatrical metal band. We got together in 2015, and we've been writing songs and touring since about 2016. About a little after the band got together, we put together some demos and got some band members and started playing locally around the Philadelphia market, playing at the Trocadero, the TLA, and down in Delaware at Bar 13, and just getting our feet wet. We put together a single, like an EP, and we released that a couple years ago on a smaller label. And then we went on our first European tour in 2018 over to the UK and France. And then we signed with Pavement, and now we just returned from our second UK and Ukraine and European tour earlier this summer, and now Pavement's set to release our debut album, Songs of the Siren, which is part of a 3-part trilogy, the Siren Saga.
So the album's coming out August 30th. Give us a little bit of the particulars of that record, where you recorded this album and who was your producer and that kind of stuff.
We have our own studio called Valley Road Recording, so that was produced and recorded right here where we live on the farm.
Yeah, it's on our farm where we rehearse and do all our production and work out of. We actually kind of hub out of one area, one farmhouse. Got to click over, and we built a recording studio, and we have our sound area, and with band rehearses, and we build our props and our stage sets, and everybody kind of comes here we're just outside of Lancaster in an undisclosed area. I won't tell you where, because we have had people trying to hunt us down.
Hey, I'm intrigued by the the kind of genre name you use. I think you used the term fantasy metal. Was that what you said? Tell me a little bit about
fantasy metal. Yeah, it's theatrical. It's fantasy metal. It's what we're doing is because Maggie and I, we played in a band previously together that was a touring rock band, and when it started to end and wind down, which bands often do, we wanted to keep working together. But when you go see a rock band, 90% of the time, not all the time, but it's guys on stage. Sometimes they dress up, sometimes they're in t-shirts, whatever works for the band. But we kind of turned to each other and said, "There's more. Like, let's do something more." So we combined kind of rock opera, metal, hard rock, and theatrics, going into Iron Maiden and Ghost and In This Moment, with a little bit of, I don't want to say Broadway, but stage show. So there's lights and smoke and sets and a storyline. It's a concept album, following the saga of the Siren. It's called the Siren Saga. So when people come see the show, they get a full-on show.
Now, elaborate a little bit more on the Siren Saga. I mean, I know you don't want to give all of it away, but just give us like a little taste of what the storyline kind of is.
It's based on like a mashup of like Greek and Norse mythology, and then kind of double entendres, meaning I pulled from my own personal experiences and threw it all together, and it follows the mythological idea of the siren, and I kind of mixed mythologies using Persephone and different gods and goddesses in the story. And basically the sirens, there are 7 sirens, and the siren's job is to protect Persephone, and when she doesn't protect Persephone, she gets cast out from Mount Olympus, and she loses her wings and kind of set off on a journey of basically self-awareness and becoming self-aware, and she builds an army throughout the saga and kind of learns about herself, and she has to battle Hades and some other.
So it pulls from a lot of areas. I mean, people that are into people that are into like Nightwish or like I said, Iron Maiden or Alice Cooper. They'll
or Game of Thrones, D&D.
They can get into it, and it's got a storyline, and it's got characters. Each member of the band is their own character. A little bit, pull that from being a kid and loving Kiss.
But also the songs can stand alone on their own too, so you don't have to hear them in the storyline to understand, an individual song. You could hear Mayhem and relate to it. You could hear Breathe and relate to it without being like, oh, this is part of a story.
Yeah, if you hear a song by itself, it's not like you'd be like, the hell is this? It's like if you pull Tommy out of the Who's Tommy. It's a great song by itself, but then you put it in context of the album, and it's part of the story. So we spent a lot of time and energy writing songs that if you hear by itself, you'd be like, man, I really like that song. And then if you hear it in the context of the album, you're like, oh, I get it in the storyline.
Now, we were talking, you played so many the great clubs. I'd love to tell the rest of the world about this great area we live in musically with the Harrisburg, Philly, Lancaster, York areas. There's so many bands here that are amazing. And yet you've managed to play these venues here, and then you toured Europe. So talk to me about how it went. You kind of jumped from southeastern Pennsylvania over to Europe. How did that all go down, and why Europe?
Europe is very accepting of our genre and what we do. There's a lot of theatrical kind of metal coming in from over there, especially Nightwish kind of opened that door into America.
Yeah.
We kind of went back through the door over to Europe, and they just embraced us and what we were doing. And we kind of knew if we could put on the show there and do it successfully and win fans there, that we were onto something. So we had a lot of promoters and people that caught on to the band through social media and the internet, and they invited us to come play festivals in Europe. So we went, and we played in England at Whitney Festival, and then we went to France and did some smaller shows last year, and then this year we went back and played Whitney Festival and headlined the Friday night, and then we went to the Ukraine and did a headlining tour. Which was really amazing. It was crazy. So we tested it there, and now we're going to be taking it a little bit more out across North America in late 2019 and early 2020.
So I mentioned release days coming up on August 30th. That's got to be an exciting day for you guys. What do you got planned? Are you going to be sitting around the houses watching? Or are you going to do some perform? What are you going to do on release day?
There's a lot of press that we're doing that day, a lot of live interviews, much like we're doing right now. And then on August 31st, we're playing the Chameleon Club.
Hey.
With Extinction AD and my buddies in Mobile Death Camp. So we're doing a bit of a small release show. We've actually decided to do it at the Lizard Lounge rather than the big stage upstairs.
Yeah.
And make it like a little bit of a party. So, you're welcome to come, man, if you want to come.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I don't know where I'm going day to day. I go where I'm told with my scheduler here, but we will check that out for sure. So, hey, this is a long album. It's 15 songs, and you said it's part of 3. So, talk about that a little bit. You guys chose to put quite a lot of music out in one record, didn't you?
Well, it's actually 11. And then there's some radio mixes.
Ah, the radio. Okay, yeah, the radio edits afterwards.
Because some of the songs connect in the album when you're listening to it. If you listen to it in sequence, some of the songs connect with different samples and, ocean sounds and thunder and
bass solo.
There's a bass solo, yes. Bass player, so yes, pretty proud bass solo. So what we did was for ease of use for radio and for people to be able to pick out different singles, we did a couple separate mixes.
Yeah, very smart. Yeah.
And added them on to the end of the record. So if you wanna listen to a song like Awakening, it's got 2 parts to it on the beginning of the album, which is about 9 minutes long. So the single version is about 5.5 minutes, so that you can just listen to the song.
No, man, that's cool because it's a little something for everybody. You got I imagine you got the purists who want to put on that, full length front to end, and some people that just kind of want to sample it. So it makes total sense. Hey, so fall is almost upon us. You kind of alluded a little to us. What do you guys have planned between now and let's say the holidays?
Well, we're doing some shows here locally. We got the 2 shows coming up tomorrow. We headline the Horror Punk Festival down in Philadelphia at Voltage Lounge.
Nice.
It's like 15 bands.
Yeah.
It's a female fronted
Festival, yeah.
but it's also like horror show, circus freak kind of themed, and it's all day from 2 p.m. till we finish playing, whatever time that'll be.
Yeah, we're going at 11:30.
We're going at 11:30. We take the stage till we finish. So that could be 2 hours. But it's at 6th and Cal Hill, 7th and Cal Hill, right next to the old electric factory, Voltage Lounge. So we're doing that, and then we're doing a release show on the 31st here in Lancaster. And then September and October, we're shooting videos and film for the Siren Saga. So we're actually on locations doing that for most of it. And then in December, we have a date we're doing with Tantric here in Philadelphia at 2300 Arena. In between there, we're tossing around a tour in November, which we can't announce yet, but it's stay tuned to our Facebook and iogmusic.com, and you'll see the announcement come up. But right now, we're just doing a couple small things and doing a lot of video promotion.
I'm glad to hear you meeting the Tantric boys there, man. They're good friends of ours. We love Tantric, and it's been go way back with Sebastian and Jaron, especially of Tantric from your Philadelphia scene there. So good to hear you all are playing with them, man. That's a good show. Hey, where do you guys want folks to go to find out more? I know you have a website and all the socials. Where's the best kind of launching point for people that want to see your stuff and learn more about your band?
Facebook. You can go to IOG. You can go to iogmusic.com. And that portal, our website, will lead you to our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, and our YouTube channel. And, the band directly communicates on Facebook, on Instagram. So if you message us or you like something, it comes to one of us and we will respond. We're really fan-friendly. We stay at every show and sign every autograph and talk to every person. So that, we understand our fans are what make us. So
absolutely.
Well, hey, I've had a pleasure talking to you. This has been Illusions of Grandeur. They're out of the Lancaster, Philadelphia area. We've had Maggie and CM with us. Don't forget their new release, The Songs of the Siren, due out on August 30th. That's just around the corner, so be sure to pick that one up. And, hey, man, I really appreciate you guys spending the time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.